Good morning, Miss Morelli. My full name is Flor Medina.
Good morning, Miss Marbelli. My full name is Susana Villacorta.
Today we are going to talk about the most interesting historical film.
Yes, we watch different movies, and now we are going to compare them and choose the best one.
Susana, do you remember the history and the teacher told us? Which one did you find the most interesting?
Yes, Flor, I think it was Titanic because the characters were unforgettable. Leonardo DiCaprio played Jack and Kate Winslet played Rose. For me, Titanic was incredible. It was a romantic story, and I love those kinds of stories.
That sounds interesting. Can you tell me more about the history?
Of course, the story was about a young man and a young woman who meet on a very big ship called Titanic. They come from different social classes, but they fell in love very quickly. They were talking and laughing while they were spending time together. However, one night the ship hit an iceberg and started to sink. People were running, crying, and trying to escape while the water was coming into the ship. It was a very dangerous situation. And then Jack helped Rose, but he died in the cool water. Rose survived and remembered him forever. In conclusion, it was a very emotional and sad story.
Wow, the, that is very touching history, Susana. I think Avenger in Games was the most interesting because it had action, adventure, and many heroes.
Really, Fleur? Can you explain the story?
Yes, the history was about a group of superheroes called Avenger. They wanted to save the world because Thanos and Destroyer heart of the universe. At the beginning, the heroes were very sad and confused. However, they decided to work together. They were planning a mission where they were training to find a way to travel in time and change the past. In addition, there were many exciting battles. I remember the Thanos attacked, Iron Man was fighting bravely, Captain America was leading the team, and Thor was using his power. The final battles was very intense and amazing. In the end, Iron Man sacrificed his life to save everyone. I was very emotional, but also very heroic.
That sounds very exciting, Fleur. On the other hand, Titanic was sadder than the other movies, but also more emotional and romantic. The ending was very dramatic and the actors were excellent.
Yes, I agreed. However, Avenger Endgame was more exciting and more dynamic than Titanic. It also had the best action scene and more character.
Mm. That is true, but Titanic had the most beautiful love story. I really enjoyed that movie because it made me feel many emotions.
I understand your point, Susanna. Both movies are very good. So, which movie should we present to the class?
I think Avengers Endgame because it was the most exciting and popular movie. Many students like action movies.
Yes, and it is also more entertaining for a presentation.
In conclusion, we choose Avengers Endgame because it had action, excitement, teamwork, and a fantastic story.
We believe it's the best option for the class.
Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Good idea with Susanna. Let's watch of another movies together sometime.
Okay, Flor, it's getting late. Bye.
Bye.